What up? What up? Welcome to the Crown and Stitch podcast. Me and my guy Keith going to run through some new releases today. I don't know, man. There's like too many releases. We got them flowing into the Discord now, and it's just like overwhelming. I don't know what I should be copping and what I should be. I don't even know how to find what I want. There's so many, but we got about a cool 20 or so to talk about tonight. But haven't really done new releases on the pod yet, so we'll see how this goes. Keith, what's good, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. It feels good to be back in the saddle. You know, it's like even taking 1 week off from this, it kind of feels like it's been a month or two. So definitely feels good to be back on with you and talking some more fitteds.
So true, man. So true. It's like once you get that momentum going, you can't let off the gas because it definitely feels like it's been forever.
And the pickups start building up too, so I gotta start knocking some of those out, man.
Well, you might as well start us off then. Talk about what you picked up first.
I'm gonna show off a couple. This first one is not mine, but I had mentioned it a couple episodes back. This is from Crown Minded. My girl picked this up, but this is that Cali Love 2.0. But I don't know, the stomper, the side patch, like I don't know, very beautiful hat. And I figured since I talked about it on the last episode, I might as well show it off.
Yeah, that's a clean one, man. I'll have to dig out some of the old some of my old fitteds, but like back in like 2009, 2008, 2009, Slick, the graffiti artist who is like has this brand called This Is It, did like the Cali like bear fitteds. Like he was kind of like the first person to like really turn that into something. And then it just went everywhere. And then it was like you go into like souvenir shops in the city and, there's like orange and black ones and AIDS colored ones. But I have a couple of those from way back in the day. But I always love that like Cali themed combo. I actually want to get a pair of the Cali Dunks at some point. Never have. But it's just too good to pass up. That's actually, where'd you say that one's from?
That was from Crown Minded.
All right, I gotta look and see if there's any floating around. At least keep an eye out for restocks or whatever.
It's crazy because you can't even go a day without seeing one of those like California Republic Cal Bears hats. Like I feel like you can pick those up at like 7-Eleven now. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of how it works, right? Like somebody does it, and then it's like, especially the souvenir shops, right? All those places just like rip everything. Just every color under the sun, every version of it, just printing money for the tourists. But, so I finally picked up the Lids, pinstriped Giants. Got the Battle of the Bay there on the side. Got the Giants colored Batterman on the back. White guts, gray underbill. Pretty dope. I actually am impressed by the quality of it. Like the stitching is kind of like I was expecting it to be like just like a little bit off somehow, but turned out to be really, really, really clean. So pretty stoked to grab one of those. I was surprised how many, like honestly, like I went into Lids, and Lids is always hit or miss because it's like everybody goes there because it's one of the only places you can go and get a good variety, but it gets cleaned out pretty quickly. And then like they always have like these like the bottom shelves or like the standalone shelves where like just a bunch of random stuff is there. And I looked at the wall and I was like, fuck, I knew I should have come and got this sooner. Right. Cause there was like, I think the only one that was on the wall still was like Cincinnati Reds, and Camel's with me, and like, we started looking around. She ended up seeing them like kind of tucked away on one of the like shelves that sit out front, but like on the back side. And there was like 4, maybe 5 of them left, and one of them was my size. So super stoked. I don't know if I'll actually wear it or not. It's a little too like, it's like, I feel like I'm just going to get it dirty, and then I'm just going to be pissed that I got it dirty. So it might just be like one of those hats that sits in the display case.
Yeah, I was at Lids on Sunday, and I was at the mall, walked through Lids. I was taking my daughter shopping for school and stuff like that. So of course I had to stop by just to see what they had in there. And they definitely didn't have any of the Giants. They had like, a couple A's, a couple Yankees, but they were all cleaned out on the Giant stuff.
Yeah, man. It's like there were so many people in there when we walked out. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that many people in a lids before. And just speaks to the popularity of fitted or just hats in general right now. But I think it's dope. I mean, I like seeing more and more people get into it. I mean, obviously we wouldn't be doing this podcast if more people weren't into it, right? It's like there's only, like we could have done this a long time ago, but like there wouldn't be near as many people interested in it. And then like, to me, that's kind of just like, it just creates opportunity for everybody that's passionate about it. So I'm into getting more and more people into it. I mean, I know there's people that are all, against it and have their particular things that they don't want to see. And like people in the comments on our YouTube telling us that we're not really into hats because we don't know certain things. And it's like, I mean, I'm not into the certain things that you want to be into. Like, that's why we all should do these things,
Everybody has different tastes, right? Like, yeah. I mean, not everyone's going to like the same stuff. Not everyone's naturally, you're not going to get exposed to the same stuff as other people unless, I mean, of course, like, things like Hat Crawler, some of the main companies, Hat Club, Topperz. I mean, people are going to see a lot of the same stuff, but that doesn't mean everything they see is exactly the same. And everyone has their own personal taste too. So.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I think that's going to be a fun part about just running through some of these new releases with you, because like even though we have like very similar are fans of very similar teams, like we don't actually like and rock the same hats all the time. Like I bet you we probably maybe have one or two that are similar to each other, but the rest of them are all different. And I think that's the beauty of it, right? Like the more people get into it, the more creative people can be, the more chances people can take on the design side, on the production side. And, it's just a beautiful thing to me. So, but you want to share another pickup?
Yeah, I got one more. And
all right.
This one kind of has a story behind it too.
Cool.
On one of the earlier podcasts, I was talking and I had mentioned to Dexter that, just kind of chopping it up with employees and stuff like that and talking hats. So I walked into a lids. I'm not going to say where it is. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but I was wearing one of my Bison's hats and I started, there was one dude in there, just the dude working. And it was like, hey, nice hat, blah, blah, blah. We started chopping it up. And after about, perusing for about 10, 15 minutes, he's like, hey, if you want to look on the employee store on the computer, you could pick something out and use my employee discount, blah, blah, blah. So I was literally on like the store computer for like another 5-10 minutes looking through hats and got to use his employee discount, picked up this Orioles hat.
Nice. That's dope.
This is the Be More pack. This is based on The Wire. And it's funny too, because I just started watching it like a few months back and I'm like, man, this is perfect. So talk to people in stores, chop it up. It's kind of like sneakers, it's like you start that conversation and you never know where it may go. Good things can happen.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. The Wire is a classic, definitely a good pickup, but yeah, more importantly, man, that's the whole point of the community, man. Like all this stuff that's happened through like sneaker history and the Discord and all these people and like all the connections and all the meetups and like just looking out for each other. It's like that shit is like, it's just so dope. And it all just starts from like people just talking to each other. I know it's like not cool to talk to people nowadays, but like to me, man, that's the best, But
see, to me, it's boring getting like isolated in your own little corner of the internet and not interacting with people. It's like, dude, I want to talk to people. I want to get out and meet people. Like, go to some of the conventions and stuff like that. I feel like that's what makes this whole thing fun is it's a lot of it's the people. Like, yeah, the hats are dope, the shoes are dope, whatever. But to me, like growing those personal connections with people is what makes me excited to do this type of stuff.
Yeah, me too, man. It was interesting because when I went into lids, it's one of those things where like I can't remember what I was wearing, but it was a Hat Club release. I can't think of what hat I was wearing. One of the yellow Giants hats. But basically, like both employees that were working, like guy and a girl, were both kind of like asking about like what it was and where it was from and all that stuff. And you could tell they're kind of like hesitant about it because it's like I say Hat Club and like lids is the competitor and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like they're just sitting there wanting to talk to people about fitteds. Like the two people that they helped in front of in front of me were like moms and grandmas buying their, like 10, 12-year-olds some hats. So like, there's no real like conversation with it, right? It's more just like, hey, they wanted this hat. I helped them out. They got it. But you could tell like they were kind of like hesitant to talk to me about it. But at the same time, not right. Like they wanted to. So I think it's dope. I think everybody should just, man, the opportunities to do some cool shit and to meet some cool people and maybe eventually work together on cool projects. Like that's what it's all about to me. So, so before we get into these new releases that we're going to roll through, what's on your head tonight?
Oh, this is like a South Beach colored Rays hat. This was also a gift. I don't know where it's from, but I might have to rock this with the South Beach A's one time. It's a little bit louder than I usually wear, but every once in a while you got to pull out the bright flamboyant colors there.
Yep. I'm with you, man. I mean, I got a Hat Club Orange Crush. It's got the 1961 All-Star Game on the side. Actually, Cam, like we've been trying to get all this stuff off of Hat Club, and once she signed up for the account, she like hooked it up, got a little early for my birthday. So yeah, pretty good stuff. I'm with you, man. The bright stuff. Summertime too. You might as well, right? Fuck it.
It's coming down to the clothes. It's almost fall, so I gotta wear it while I can before I go back to the neutral colors.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's look at some of these releases. So we're basically going to look through some of the hat crawler. That's obviously one of the better, if not the best site to look at release info and just kind of see see the new stuff that's coming out. So I'm going to start off with like the first one is the Just Caps drop from New Era. What do you think about these ones? You got Mariners, Phillies, Astros, Braves.
I think they dropped some more teams than that too, but like this is, I think, number, I want to say it's 7 of this Just Caps drop from New Era. And I've liked almost every single one of them. They had some like burnt orange color. These burgundy ones, they really speak to me. I like them a lot. And I feel like it's kind of weird for New Era to drop a bunch of dope stuff at once like that. Like, I feel like with the actual like New Era website, it's kind of hit and miss. But I mean, I think these are all really good hats. I feel like they've been doing a really good job. This is one of their better collections.
Yeah, and it's got this is the one with the blue undervisor, right? Which I think is really dope. Just like I like the idea of not having a story. I know some people don't like that, but like I think there's so many stories out there that they don't all need to have it, right? Like that's the beauty in like what they've doing with the Just Caps drops. With this one, like the colors are not for me by any means. That Phillies one is really dope. That over the top logo. But I think too, like the other part of it is like, if I remember right, this one doesn't have any side patches, right? Do all the Just Caps drops?
I don't believe so.
I
don't think any of them do. I mean, I could be mistaken, but remember. At least the first couple that I remember looking through recently, I don't remember seeing any side patches on them.
Yeah, which is kind of dope. I'm sure that my friend Chetta probably has something to do with this. He was actually on when we did sneaker convos last year. He came on and talked about the working New Era in like the fitted industry and just headwear in general with a few other people. I'll link to that in the description wherever you're watching or listen to this, so you can check it out if you want to. But yeah, it's pretty dope. I mean, I think this is a good kind of a cool flex for New Era to just be like, oh, we're just going to simplify this and do something super, super simple. Pick some colors that you might not see normally. And it makes it interesting because we don't see these colors all the time. So.
Yeah, no, definitely a good drop in my eyes. I like them.
Next one, we got capsule hats with what is it? This is a 5-pack, I think. They haven't really unveiled all of these, right? This is like the kind of the early look, I guess, on this one.
Yeah, I think they should be dropping on Thursday, I believe. They usually drop Thursday, I think 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, and it's got like a Braves 30th, Diamondbacks 20th, Mets 50th, Phillies 96 All-Star game, right? Is that this one or is that the next one?
I think no, that's this one. The Braves, the Tigers, Braves, and Diamondbacks, right? And Milwaukee. I think that was the last one. Yeah, this is from the Speedway Pack, right? Capsule does a lot of cool stuff too. It was maybe like a month or two ago where I felt like they went on a little bit of a lull, and they were dropping some stuff that I like wasn't the biggest fan of. But going back the past year or two, they've had a lot of collections that I feel like were really highly sought after and kind of unique. They have their own style, and it's hard for me to explain like the exact style of their collections, but I feel like with a lot of these hats, when you look at them, you could tell it's a capsule hat compared to, like a Hat Club or a Topperz or something like that.
Yeah, totally. It's cool too, because it's like there's so many colors like this, or like just wild color packs where like it doesn't like pop off as something you recognize right away, but then when you get into the details and see what the story is, that's what makes it fun. But yeah, it's definitely, there's some good ones in that. I actually really like that Diamondbacks hat, which is kind of weird.
I was going to ask you about that. If you like the actual Arizona printed across in
yeah,
the letters.
I mean,
like
normally
that.
I don't, but for some reason that one looks pretty good to me.
It does. I think Hat Club did one where it had Arizona spelled out across the front of the crown like that before. And I was like, I don't really like that. But seeing it in this colorway, it's kind of changing my opinion a little bit.
All right. So we got a couple of releases from Burdeen's Chicago, which shout out to Dexter. He sent us a link, and I was able to scoop their recent Sacramento Solons release. But they've got a tonal Bears color tonal pack for the Bears, just basically all black, gray undervisor, pretty clean. And then they've also got like a all red socks, white socks or scarlet as they're calling it, with a gray undervisor. I think both of them are pretty clean. If I'm MLP, shout out to MLP for that review last episode. Chicago teams, these are kind of can't miss. But I don't know. I love tonal hats. So like, I don't know. How do you feel about it? I was going to
ask you that. I do sometimes. I remember it must have been at least like 10 years ago, but I remember when like the all black tonals were super in, and I'd like at Lids, they would just have a whole wall dedicated to like the all black or, like all scarlet or red, but they were doing that a lot. So it's kind of cool to see that come back. They look good. It's a classic look. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Burdeen's, they only drop Chicago stuff too. From what I've seen, or at least on Hat Crawler, the stuff that pops up is mostly Chicago.
It's definitely mostly, but that's where I got that Sacramento hat from. So, I mean, they definitely do some like other stuff in between. But it's interesting because, like, I mean, that's something I was going to bring up too. Like, we're going to get into some other stuff, but it's always odd to me when like a company from, let's say, Chicago or a boutique from Chicago is going to drop, a series of New York hats, or, I could see like the one-off stuff, or like maybe you get an exclusive, color or something, but like, or like twist it, right? Flip it into like, your hometown colors, right? You do a Yankees hat in like Bears colors, and that's kind of interesting for a Chicago fan or something. But I always find it kind of weird that, brands and boutiques specifically get like, I don't know, like doing stuff outside of your city. Not like you can't, but it just seems like you would want to rep for your city more than to be doing something for, LA or New York or Chicago or whatever big city that's not the city you're from. But I don't know.
Especially with the smaller boutiques too, it's like you would feel like they would want to specifically cater to their location and their area.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Do you think it would be harder to sell through stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's people, say, for example, in Chicago that like other teams. I wonder, like, how that would work if that, would be taking some money out of their pockets, just only dropping their home team.
Yeah,
stuff.
like maybe there's just so many Bears hats in Chicago, it doesn't make sense to drop more Bears hats, with your own side patch on the side or something. I don't know. Maybe something we should ask when we get a boutique owner on to talk to us about it. So. But next up is a kind of classic, the Sugar Skull. This one is from the El Paso Locomotive Football Club. So I got to say, one of the things that I really love about Hat Crawler is how much variety they pull from everywhere. And I'm not like the biggest soccer fan, but because the Sacramento team has been doing better and like, growing over the past 5-7 years, I'm like just more and more interested in it. And like, even in the Discord, like watching and learning from like Rowit and all this stuff, just it's become something that's more and more interesting to me, more and more important. So like, it's cool to see these kind of like small teams because, for me, like I don't necessarily wouldn't scoop this one up because I have like a Giants Sugar Skull and I have a couple other Sugar Skull things from way back, but I could see picking up a different El Paso locomotive fitted just because my sister went to school down there. So like, that would be a cool thing to like show up to a family thing with like some sort of connection to talk about. But I don't know. What do you think about this one?
It's okay. It's definitely not my cup of tea or something I would particularly wear. But at the same time, like you said, it's like, that's one of the cool things about Hat Crawler is it's like I'm getting exposed to stuff and learning about stuff that I wouldn't normally see. Like, this is not a hat I would go seek out or be able to find in general or wouldn't come across unless it was posted on Hat Crawler, another one of the main sites where, you see a lot of these fitteds getting posted. So just the fact that it's there for the people that do want it and just, the exposure in general. If I watch soccer, it's the World Cup, it's the Olympics. That's about the only time I'm tuning into soccer. I'm not watching a lot of like English Premier League or, MLS or anything like that. So, anything to get the exposure out there it's good in my book.
Totally. All right. Next one up, we got a Yankees Royal 98 World Series side patch with a sky blue undervisor. This one is from House of Fitteds. I mean, this is kind of like the perfect, like, you're in the New York area and you want to drop a hat. To me, this is the way you do it, right? Like, if you're in the Bay and you want to drop a Oakland or a Giants hat, just go hard on the the local story with the side patch and good colors. I mean, you'll never catch me in a Yankees fitted, but this is a nice looking hat.
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple of them, but when I saw this hat, it just reminded me of when Dexter was talking about, when like the red Yankees fitteds were first coming out and everyone, had the red Yankees hats everywhere. So it's kind of nostalgic, you know what I mean? So, nice, clean, classic hat, probably not something I would personally pick up either, but if you live in New York and you're a Yankees fan, I don't see why you wouldn't want something like this.
Yeah, it's clean, man. I mean, if I was a New Yorker, this would be an easy pickup for me. But I mean, if they did somebody does a Giants version like that, like, I know it's kind of blasphemous to do some Dodger colors on a Giants hat, but I love the colors, man. Like, blue's one of my favorite colors, so gotta give them props when it's due. But all right, the next one we got is this is actually a cool pack. So the pink and sky blue pack from Lids. Got the Padres, the Dodgers, the Rangers, the Astros. I can't remember I think there was a couple more in this, but I love this because it's not like your typical, like, it's not like the pink that you have. Nothing against that bright pink, but it's just an understated pink. And to me, that's like a unique approach to it, especially that light blue just like looks so, I mean, maybe it's a little too Easter now that I'm looking at it, but to me, these are dope.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the contrast of the accents, that teal or blue accent on the lighter muted pink like that. It goes well together. I feel like it would be kind of hard to pull it off, or you would really have to like have a fit lined up to wear this with. But it's not a bad looking hat at all. They definitely look all right.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember what the undervisors were on those ones, but maybe it's actually that sky blue is the undervisor. Okay.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure those are the sky.
The downside to not having like the beauty pics and just having the catalog shots, you don't get to see the details. Yeah. All right, next one up is all right, we got we got a couple Dodgers releases. Actually, it's kind of funny because like this is Joe Fresh Goods, who's out of Chicago, has been killing it with like some of his collabs on the sneaker side of things. But got a camel colored Dodgers hat and then a royal colored Dodgers hat, which this is kind of my point. Like, it's like it's not a bad thing, right? Because there's obviously people. Look, there's people from LA and Chicago. There's people from Chicago and LA. So, like, people are gonna switch it up and wear where they're from and represent however they want. And sometimes it's just like a dope hat is a dope hat. But this is what kind of what I was talking about. It's like it feels like you would want to do like I don't know, like take these colors and throw like a Bulls logo on them or a Cubs logo, a Sox logo. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's like too easy. I don't know. That's again something we got to get into when we have somebody on that has a boutique.
Yeah, yeah. And I know Joe Freshgoods, I think he did a whole collection of, if not all the MLB teams, most of them. And I think I had posted a link in the Discord one time too, because I'm like you said, he's pretty popular with New Balance and stuff right now. So I figured that would be, something that a lot of people would gravitate towards. I don't know what retail was though. Do you know, were these more expensive? Like, when they do like the Just Don stuff or whatever, how the retail's like crazy high.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't actually know the answer to that. I mean, but that I would assume so, because usually these like boutiques upcharge pretty significant amount. But I'm sure that side patch too. Like I don't see pictures of it for like showing the rest of the hat, but I'm sure that the side patch is probably something to do with Joe Freshgoods, maybe one of his logos and stuff, right?
Yeah, it says like Joe Freshgoods on the side or something like that.
I mean that camel color is pretty dope. It's not something you see every day, but kind of reminds me like a pair of Dickies or something. So I could see that being really a dope thing to have. Not in a Dodger hat, but
one of the other teams, right? Maybe a Giants.
All right, the next one up is old school Houston Astros All-Star Game 1986 from Topperz store. I mean, I love this Astros logo. Astrodome above the Astros. Like I can't ever buy an Astros anything, but gotta give props when it's due.
Yeah, no, that you're right. That is one of my favorite Astros logo, and the side patch they use on that, I don't know if I've seen that too many times before. I mean, maybe a few, but it's not one of the more common side patches they use on those Astros hats. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see it come back around. You know what I mean? And do something a little bit different. Topper's been killing it though lately. They've been dropping a lot of amazing stuff.
Yeah, actually, the last couple of pickups prior to the ones I shared from the one that I shared from Lids today is actually from Topperz. And I think I have another one on the way, but I'm going to wait and unveil that on a future one. But actually the next one on the list too is like probably one of the, like, I don't have any of these, but it's super dope, right? It's like that corduroy pack, MLB corduroy pack, also from Topperz. I mean, we'll put links to all these in the description wherever you're watching or listening, but this is like just the simplest, most effective spin, right? Just don't mess with the colors, keep it OG, but throw a different material on there, like whether it's corduroy, denim, suede, like there's just so many ways you can flip it. And like, I think that's like a lot of the opportunity for brands and boutiques and stuff to like do unique stuff is to like mix up the materials. Cause like, it's not like we're all like looking for other materials to wear on our fitteds, because frankly, like, kind of the classic is really functional and easy to wear, but I think there's a lot of cool like opportunity for people to do more of this kind of stuff. And to your point, Topperz has been killing it with releases lately, and not surprising this is from them.
Yeah, you know what? At first, I didn't even notice these are corduroy when I think it was a couple days ago, Topperz had posted something on their story like, oh, these are coming up. And even if they weren't corduroy, like every single one of these hats, maybe with the exception of the Marlins, not the biggest fan of that red Marlin on there, but these hats just look super clean, super classic. And Dexter kind of got me onto the corduroys because I have that one Twins hat from the mystery pack, and you might see one of these 6 in a new pickups episode coming up.
Nice. All right, this next one, I know, Dexter doesn't really like the Padres colors. So this one is actually a really dope twist on it, right? You got the Friar 40th anniversary Padres blue with gray. I mean, I don't know that I would wear a Padres hat, but if I was going to, I think this might be it.
for some reason, I feel like this is the only logo where they can mimic it from the front logo to the side patch and still have it look good. You know, like a lot of the times, you know, with the repeating logo on the side, I don't really like those, but I don't know, the matching Friars, it kind of looks nice to me.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. All right, we got a couple more and then we'll get out of here. So, Threshers Baseball, this is another thing that I love about Hatcrawler. If you're not following them, at Hatcrawler, they're one of the best in the biz. Clearwater Threshers, Phillies, basically minor league squad, and you get to see kind of that minor league logo. To me, this is like being able to see this stuff that we wouldn't normally see is like what makes the internet and social media and all this shit so great.
Agree 100%. I've never even heard of this team, to be honest with you, but like you said, it's kind of cool to see stuff pop up like this. And it's like, I like that it doesn't get flooded on there, but you know, every once in a while I see some stuff I've never seen before pop up, which keeps everything new and exciting.
Yep. All right. So I know you got the Buffalo Bison's collection going on. So what do you think? Buffalo Bison's Corduroy Prime Edition, again, from Topperz store. Is this already on the pickups?
You know
list?
What? I would pick this one up, but I have the one that's not corduroy in the same exact color. So I ended up passing. I don't even think I saw the drop for this, but after I saw it, I was like, I'm glad I wasn't tempted to see it like right when it dropped, because, you know, it might have been one of those panic buys and be like, dude, I have the same exact hat, but just non-corduroy. So
yep.
I don't think you have to ask. I love it.
Yep. It's a good one. Smart move though, not doubling up on colors that you have just for the material. I think we all fall for that in sneakers, but let's try to avoid the unnecessary. I mean, I say that now, but then I would also send you the link if I found it.
I appreciate that.
All right, a couple more. The two-tone color pack gray undervisor from Burdeen's. This one's pretty clean. I mean, what is that? Black and like a blue teal, maybe
almost like a Tiffany blue, almost pretty close.
Yeah, kind of Tiffany looking. Yeah, really light, but almost the same formula across all the teams too. Which, you know, when you get good colors, you just can't go wrong with it, in my opinion. So I'm all for these.
Yeah, these look really nice, and I guess I was sadly mistaken when I was talking about Burdeen's only dropping Chicago hats, because here's a whole pack of different teams with only one Chicago hat on there. But these are nice. I feel like I've seen these colors though on a lot of other collections from other companies too. So they're nice, and it's cool. Like if other people get exposed to, you know, that they only like look at Burdeen stuff mostly to see them there. But I think like Hat Club has dropped stuff like this, like a mint chocolate chip or something like that. So this is I feel like this is something I've seen before, or at least similar. You know,
definitely. Yep. But it's a good one. I mean, and I think you can like switch those shades of blue, green, Tiffany kind of just ever so slightly. And it works differently for different people. So.
I noticed too, like I have maybe between 5 and 10 navy blue hats, and only 2 of them are exactly the same navy blue. And the other ones are they're a half a shade different. You know, they're almost identical, but if you hold them up next to each other, you can tell it's a little different. So I wouldn't be surprised if these were the same, like, you know, maybe just a half a shade to a shade different on that teal color.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah, totally. That's actually, when we get to the kicks and fit to finish off the show, I'm going to talk about that too. But, next one up is a locker room, Downey down there in, Southern California. If you're in LA and you haven't been there, that's like, the LA team fan superstore, but this one's basically a Raiders with a split side. It's got like the classic logo on the front and then Raiders kind of cut off on the side. I think it's actually pretty dope. I mean, I probably wouldn't get any Raiders stuff at this point, but when they were in Oakland, I had some Raiders stuff, and you know, I'm a Niners fan, but I support all the teams in the Bay, even though I only wear the Giants stuff.
I'm not a big fan of like the writing across the side so big in those block letters. Does it go all the way around the back to where it spells out Raiders all the way?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. I mean, I feel like just the Raiders logo is just so clean and classic, like just by itself, that it kind of takes away from it when you put those big block letters on the side. But I'm sure there's people out there that will will still find this hat attractive.
Yeah, it's a good point, though. I mean, yeah, I can. Now that you say that, I could probably go either way on it. To be honest, like I don't think you see it very often, so I think it's kind of dope. But I do think, like, to your point, the Raiders logo is so kind of iconic that you almost don't need anything else on it.
It's the shield, baby.
Exactly. So speaking of iconic logos, the last one we got to talk about is Goodfellas SF dropping the Giants hat, navy and red. I mean, you can't go wrong with like again a good color combination and your favorite team or a team that has a great logo. Like, just line them up, load them up, stock the closets, stock your little display case, and you can match them to any fits, any kicks. That's what I love about hats the most, man. What do you think about this one?
Nah, this one's nice. Actually, Joe from the Discord was the one that put me on Goodfellas. Like, I had never even heard of it until maybe like a month ago, and I went on their website, and they have a lot of cool stuff, and they have a lot of unique stuff too. Like, it's not the normal cookie cutter, collections and packs. So, I'm definitely going to eventually have to cop some from them, because especially being a local store and stuff like that, got to support.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, that's about it for the releases for this episode. It's gone a little longer than we anticipated, but we're going to wrap up by talking about little matching going on with fits and kicks. You want to start it off?
Yeah, sure. I pulled this hat out before. This is the Mac Miller Ox pack with the 2006 All-Star Game patch. One of my favorite hats. That's probably why I had to pull it out again. And
it's so clean, so good.
Fire Red 4s.
Nice.
I like that the reds are almost exactly perfectly matching, and
yeah,
I don't know. 4s are some of my favorite Jordans, and just I feel like it's a nice classic look together.
Yeah, man, it's so nice when something shows up and it's a color that like actually matches with, because like the shades are always slightly different, but yeah.
Even if no one else notices, I notice, and I feel kind of self-conscious wearing like if I got like a burgundy hat and some like fire red shoes, I can't do it. So it always soothes the soul when they match exactly.
Yeah, man. All right, so I'm gonna go with the New York Giants with the Polo Grounds patch on the side, just a navy classic gray underbill. The New Balance 1300, made in the USA. This is from a long time ago, but kind of classic New Balance colors. Dirty as hell because I wear my kicks. So hats get worn too, and I don't have time to clean the shit. Just wear the shit. I hit that point of like, okay, it's been so long that I have to clean it, but that takes so long to wear to get to, because I have so many pairs of shoes and so many hats to wear being a collector, so but
if you try to clean every one of your pairs of shoes that are dirty, you would probably be sitting there months at a time, right?
Man. Yeah, at least yeah. It would just be insane, and I know that I should, and I try to keep the stuff that's in the display. I mean, one day I'll like show the display for the pod, but I try to keep the stuff clean as it goes back in the display, but sometimes I just don't. It's just like, I'm tired, I'm doing all this stuff. It's not a priority for me. So, but hey, props to you if you are putting in the work to keep that stuff clean. But anyway, that's about it. A little bit long for this episode, but let's wrap. Let them know how they can find you, Keith, outside of the pod.
You can find me at Keith the Sneak with 2 Ks at the end, all platforms. I'm trying to get a little bit more active on Twitter. Like I said, I mostly only comment on Dexter's stuff because his stuff pops up. So, also, hop on the Sneak History Discord, follow at Crown and Stitch everywhere. That's probably the most important one. Go check us out. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
Yeah, man. Just I need to get better about posting on the Crown and Stitch Twitter too. I only see Dexter stuff too. I see your stuff occasionally, but like I definitely need to be better about being on there. But I am on my main account like most of the time, but I'm pretty much a lurker on Twitter at this point because you got work and you got clients and you got people. I don't need to be like having people seeing that I'm not working on their stuff. So
Put all your business out there, right?
Exactly. Exactly. No, I mean, people know I keep so busy, man. But hey, you can follow me at Nick Ingval on all the platforms. But like Keith said, at Crown and Stitch everywhere. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. We could use the support. We're trying to get that magic number 100. We're only a few away, so we appreciate it. And next time we'll actually get into the reviews too. So if you're out there on Apple or Spotify or Amazon, hit that follow button, subscribe, all those things, and leave us a review if you can. We appreciate y'all. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
See you guys next week.